Hello, and I am here today to go over some sowing plans that I have. I have some space I can clear out of my raised beds from beans that are going to be done pretty soon. I think I could probably pull a couple of the plants. I have all those volunteer snapdragons that came up, and they're just small and you know not astounding. So I'm going to pull some of those to make some room. I have some broccoli plants that I think I'm going to pull them all today. I have one that has a nice head of broccoli on there, and I don't want to get greedy and see if it's going to get bigger. I'm just going to pull it today because the last ones that I pulled were starting to flower, and we ate them because you can still eat them with the flowers on there. But I just figured I'll pull this one. It looks nice. It's probably about the length of my hand, and I'll show you that one later. So I'm going to pull all of the broccolis. I let some get some side shoots on them, and I've harvested a couple here and there. But, it's a big plant for just a few side shoots. I figure I'm just going to pull them, make room for some other things. And then I don't know if there's anything else to pull, but I'll take you out there and show you in a little bit. But I also have this tomato plant. I don't know if I've shown you this one, but this was a volunteer that popped up in one of my little seed trays, and here we are, nice and tall. And I'm just gonna put it in one of these pots. I think it's gonna be a cherry tomato. I think this will be enough room. I don't expect it to get very big anyway. There's some nasty roly-polies on the bottom of that. Lovely. And that's what I'm going to do with those. Yeah, I'm going to take care of those. Ew! I'm not a fan of roly-polies. It's probably like, where am I going to go? You're going to go right in my yard waste bin. Maybe not, but take care of that. Okay. Roly-polies, I've been noticing, have been making more of an appearance in my raised beds. I went and moved some leaves around, and I just saw a little cluster of babies. That reminds me, I do have lettuce I can pull. I think I can harvest a couple leaves, but I'm gonna pull some lettuce. So that's gonna make up quite a bit of space. So these are the seeds that I am toying with starting. In no particular order, I have radishes. This is the cherry bell, which these are the seeds that I have used for quite some time, for years. So I'm gonna do some more of those. And then this is a new variety that I picked up, early scarlet globe. When I run into the dollar store every now and then, I see what seeds they have. They're always super cheap and they germinate pretty well. And there aren't a ton of seeds, but there's definitely a bit in there. Lettuce and spinach varieties. This is the Yeticule lettuce that I got and have been pulling, and it turns out pretty nice. So I'm gonna plant some more of that. And then Giant Noble, this is the variety that I grew this year, and I'm gonna plant some more. And then this is one that I just picked up, Bloomsdale Longstanding. So I'm gonna do those. And then these are old seeds I got from a friend a while back, and it was like in one of those industrial size for commercial growers. And I just saved, this bag is about half full. I saved 2 of these little envelope sized amount of seeds, and then I pitched the rest because it was just too much. And I don't even know if they'll germinate. So we'll try. I'm going to do some of those. And then carrots. I'm gonna do some more carrots. I've got some pretty good looking carrots. I dug some of the soil back over one of my new varieties, which is the rainbow carrot I have out there. And I saw a little purple carrot coming. But I'm going to check 60 days to maturity. I'm gonna have to check when I put those in the ground and see. Maybe I'll pull one of them and see where we're at. So I'm gonna do some of those and just some of the red coral. These are, do I even have any seeds? Oh, there's like 3 in here. I need some more carrot seeds. Then all of my bean varieties, we're gonna try this again. Big Kahuna. These are seeds I've had for a long time. It feels like I'm gonna be planting the rest of those. Wax yellow beans. I just pulled a bunch of those. I harvested a bunch of those. And those did really well. So I'm gonna do those again. This is a new variety that I got this year. Haven't tried yet. Burpee Stringless Green Pod. Aroma bean. There aren't any left in there, so I will not be doing those. And Triumph. I'm going to say Triumph de Farcy. I think that might be French. So that variety as well. So I got 4 varieties of beans. And then beets. I did some beets. Do these have days to harvest? 55 to 60. I gotta see when I put those in the ground as well. I don't think they're ready. But they were covered by the broccoli, which is why I'm not doing more broccoli. I think the broccoli that I planted was shading out my beets and they didn't get big. I did that last year. My broccoli covered up my onions last year, and my onions did not get very big. So I'm making the same mistake with the broccoli this year over the beets. So I'm gonna plant some more of those. Those are the seed varieties I am doing. Oh yeah, then I have the dill. I have a tomato plant I killed. Don't know how I killed it exactly, but I'm sure it was something that I did. And I'm gonna pull, actually I have 2 tomato plants I'm gonna pull. And I'm gonna put dill in its place. And I know that this will be a nice, these are in the ground that I'm gonna do them. And I know they're good for pollinators once the flowers open up. And I might make some pickles. If I don't, I just like using dill in other salads and things like that. So I'd be happy to try these. These are new to me as well. So that is my plan for today. I'm gonna go show you the broccoli and I'm gonna go pull what I have. Cute little sidetrack here. I walk across my lawn and I see a little viola that is just by where I had it last year. So it reseeded. Too bad it did not reseed in the bed. It reseeded out here, so he'll live there until Bill trims it down. Aw, poor thing. Coming back out to the jungle. I love how the beds look when you walk in. It's just so green, flowers, just everything's so nice. Just real quick, I'm going to show you how the new peas are doing. That's just a flower on the end. There's some on this side, and then there's some on the other side. So as soon as those mature, and I can pick them, then I can finally tear this down and plant some more. I'm getting antsy to plant some more. Coming over here, this is where all my broccoli is. So I'm gonna pick this guy. See, it's a beautiful size, right? So we're gonna pick him. Got that guy. There he is. Pretty. pull them. There. Okay. I'm gonna go in and pull these. Ooh, yeah. Too bad I didn't have chickens, huh? Anyone else? Wish I had chickens. I don't have a compost pile. Oh, yeah, hopefully. Oh, no. See, I'm taking some beets with me. Crumb. This is the lettuce I'm dealing with. All of these snapdragons. So look, now they can get a nice amount of sun. I'll cut those back. I'll plant those back in. But get rid of that. Get rid of that. Alright, so as you can see, I cleared up all this space and I gotta water in those beets that just got moved. Sorry, cabbage moth, you lost your opportunity. The broccoli's gone. So you may not find anything over here that you like. So I have all this room for seeds, and I even took out some of the snapdragons that were a little crowded in there. There's still some back there that I might pull out too. But if we come over here, you can see this is a tomato I killed. It's I'm not gonna wait for it to come back, and it makes me really sad. This is a sunray tomato, and it had its first tomato on there. So sad thing. And then another one that I'm gonna pull is this guy. This is where I'm gonna put a batch of dill, some seeds of dill. That'll be a nice little spot for them. And then I'll get to pull in this guy. It's got the stake, so I'm gonna get that first. If I can do that one-handed, that'd be great. If not, I'm gonna have to put you down. Okay, got you. I'm really sorry, tomato. But I'll give the give another plant another opportunity. Get the nasturtium out of the way. Okay, got the clips. Pull the stake. Bye bye, tomato. Oh yeah, I can even feel. Oh, those roots are fantastic too. Alright, we're gonna walk you over. And bloop. Okay. And then I'll take this guy. And I'm going to cover that back up. I was going to do more mulch, but now that I'm reminded of what I'm doing, I'm putting these two bricks. And there you go. You're going to live right there. Fantastic. Let's see some more little strawberries. Okay. So where on my list, as I consistently get distracted by everything that's over here, I'm gonna get to planting some seeds. Just give you a little preview of a tour to come. I'm gonna start planting some seeds in there. So I've sort of planned out roughly where everything's gonna go, and I cleaned out all of that broccoli, the lettuce, a ton of snapdragons, and there was one bean that didn't look like it was going to produce anything. It didn't have any buds or anything on it. This one is going to be ready to pull as soon as I harvest those beans, so by the end of the day, really. And then that leaves me with one more row. Those are the yellows here, and then this is a green, and I pulled a green. So I kept the snapdragons. They were getting the tall variety, and they're really pretty. this white one, this one. And when I've been pulling them, their root system really is not that bad. So I think those will be fine next to those carrots. Now I wanted to pull a carrot with you. This is one that I dug at the other day, and it's gonna make me really sad if it's not a substantial size, but here we go. Wow! Look at that. That is my first carrot. That's not bad. So I think that one looked like it was the most mature. So yay, I get to eat a carrot today. Hallelujah. So we're gonna save that. But I ended up pulling a bunch of beets that just did not grow much at all because of it being shaded out. And ones that accidentally came up with the beets, or I'm sorry, the broccoli that I pulled. So I did a quick little research reminder of what companion planting works, because I follow those the best that I can. And I put my 2 spinach varieties over here. I put my radish varieties in this little clump. And then I have plans for some beans there, but when I pull these, then I'm just going to plant some more beans. And then I've got a little section here where I'm going to probably start pulling some of the green onion, and I'm going to have to either gift some or have a plan, because I don't know. There's a lot of green onion, more than I definitely need, but it's ready to get pulled. And I think that's going to open me up. I'm going to put some carrot rows there. And then over in that corner, I'm going to do the lettuce varieties. And then whatever room I have left, I'll do beets. I'm not into beets terribly. I will eat them once or twice a season, but I just thought it'd be fun to try and grow something different. So I'm going to grow some more beets since I only have 4, it looks like right here. And I'm going to get to planting, harvesting a little bit more to clear up some more space over here. And then I've got lots of labels that will hopefully get me as far as I need. If not, I'll have to make up some more. So away I go. This is what I have in so far. To make note, I did in this closest row is going to be the cherry bell, and then I don't know why I did it that way, but half this row, this is so 1, 2, 3 trenches. That's cherry bell, and that half is cherry bell, and then the other half of that 3rd row and the middle row are going to be early scarlet. So I will cover those up and water those in. Then on this side, I have Giant Noble, a row there. And then I did the same thing, whichever is going to be front half, back half, the Bloomsdale. So I did 3 trenches there. Giant Noble, half Bloomsdale, and then Bloomsdale. And then over here, the green pod are the brown seeds in this row. And then I did one little spot here and one little spot here, because if you pull the leaves back, there's a little bit of space that you wouldn't be able to see otherwise. And then the rest of my big kahuna, that's the rest of my big kahuna. Cross your fingers that they sprout. If they don't, I'm putting some else there. I'm going to have to. But I want this all filled. This is a fall bed. That's the idea. And now I'm going to get going on that half. I'm done with this section now. So I have tags. I have rainbow carrots. I cleared out one row. I picked one row of bunching onions, and I will insert a picture here for you. And there's that row of bunching onions that I pulled. So then I replaced it with rainbow carrots. These are also a row of rainbow carrots. I had like 2 seeds left of orange in there on the side. And then I have 3 short rows. I just scattered the seeds and then I'll space them once they pop up. I over planted seeds, I'm pretty sure, but that's fine, I can space. So reticule, and then this is the lettuce mix. We'll see if any of those come up. I did a lot of seeds there, no idea what will happen. And then on this side I have also beets. 1, 2, 3 rows that line up right with the lettuce rows, and I'll space those as I go. I just need to water that in. Plant some dill over there where I pulled my poor brandywine tomato. That's the last thing I'm doing. It's getting toasty out here, so I'm ready to be about done. Okay, real quick, this is actually almost a week later. It's the Monday after I started all those other seeds, the lettuce, the carrots, the beets, the beans, radishes, all that stuff. And a couple of things that I did, so I'm just going to add it to this video. A couple of things. The lettuce mix did not come up, and I only did just a little row of that, and in case it didn't come up, I would put some reticule lettuce in that strip. And then I pulled the beans, so I'll show you here in a second, but I pulled my old beans and I planted a couple varieties there, and then I'll show you the sprouts that have come up as of today. So I think we're on day 6 since I planted, and almost everything, basically everything is showing. So here it is. So over here, carrots. I have my 2 row of carrots, and those are coming up real nicely. Both rows. I'm not gonna thin those quite yet. Nothing I'm gonna thin yet. I want them to get a little bit taller, and then I'll go over thinning. And then you have germinated really, really well out here. So you have the 2 rows of reticule, and this is the new row that I'm starting. And what I didn't do last time is I didn't put worm castings down. So I'm just going to do that real quick here with the beans and lettuce that I'm doing today. And, just for nutrients is all. Then I have my 3 rows of beets. Those are coming up amazing. So great germination this part of the season. And then we come over here. My old seeds of Big Kahuna are there, and those are harder to see. They're not quite all the way showing, but 1, 2, 3. And then all of the newest seed, the burpee seeds, are coming up. You can even see the pod right there. But all the burpee green, I have it right here actually. This one, stringless green pod, that is all coming up really nice. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. Then I have my 3 rows of spinach, which I'm just now noticing this spot didn't come up. That one came up. I watered this morning. There, that one's all. But yeah, there's some really nice. So got a bare spot. I'll come in and add some more seeds there. Radishes. My cherry, I'm gonna have to look back at the other part of the video. Well, because it's in the same video. So the 2 varieties of radishes, this row came up and this part of the row, so that variety came up real fast, really lush and pretty, and then the other ones are kind of trailing behind. So you can see how different that germination rate is between the new seeds and the old seeds. Now, these are my 2 new rows of beans. I did the yellow and the Triumph in these 2 rows. Boop. And boop. And then I did one random one in this corner. Only, I don't know why, but I did. So my carrots, those I'm gotta let them go a bit longer. I pulled a couple last night that didn't really show a lot of growth. They weren't very big, so I'm gonna let them continue. And then I have to show you this beautiful thing, closing it out. This gorgeous sunflower just opened today. Started showing a little bit yesterday, but yeah, I can't wait to see my other ones that are only just about ready to pop open. Well, I'm done. I just put in the dill seed and I got all those other seeds started, and I potted that tomato, and I think that was everything on my list that I started this video off with. So I hope you enjoyed following along with me today, and I will catch you next time. Bye-bye.